So guys, welcome to another video on the channel, and welcome to a rather cold one, as you can see, because it has been snowing here in Belgium and it makes for some pretty nice scenery. Now, for all of you guys who are wondering what's this video about, well, the title might already say it, but a week and a half ago I picked up my new daily driver, and some of you who are following me on Instagram might have seen the teasers that I posted on there in my Instagram stories. If you're not following me yet, go check out my Instagram account at AVPOnTheRoad and keep up to date with everything I'm doing in the car world, even before the videos get launched. But without further ado, here is my new daily. So guys, so this is it. This is my new daily. This is my new 2018 Mini Countryman that I will be driving for the next couple of years. Now, for all of you who have been following, might have seen my previous daily, which was a Skoda Superb. Now, the lease on that car was up, so it was time to find a new car as my new daily lease. So this is my Mini. Now, for all of you, before I say anything else, I'm really sorry, but I'm not actually allowed to modify this car. So if you are here to see modifications to this car, I'm really sorry, but I'm not allowed to by contract. But this will be my new daily, and I thought, why don't I make this like my long-term review car, as this is growing a trend nowadays, and I will be actually driving this car on the daily for about 4 years. So yeah, if you want to know anything about the Mini, leave it in the comments below. But first, let's do the walk around and let me show you the spec of this car. So this is a 2018 Mini Countryman. Now, this car is the 1 diesel, so it has a 1.5 turbo diesel engine with about 115 horsepower and about 250 newton meters of torque. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's around those numbers. And I gotta say, on the daily commute, this is more than enough to get you around, it's enough to overtake somebody without having to like launch from a mile ahead. But it's a really nice cruising car. It's a really nice engine for that, and it's really economical. I've been averaging for around 5 to 6 liters per 100 kilometers. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Now, this car has the chili package, so we have the 17-inch alloy wheels, we have the mirror caps painted in the same color as the body, we have the black roof, and otherwise that's about it for the exterior. Now, there are a few tech packs on there, but I'll talk about that a bit more once we are inside. Now, this car is also tinted in the rear. Now, for all of you guys who are like me and like to have dark tint on your rear windows, like this is, I think, about 10% or 15% tint. Like from factory, they would come with only 40% tinted windows, so you can't see through them. But what I did, and what you guys should maybe consider if you're interested, is to ask your dealership if they can tint your windows afterwards using tinfoil, because then they will go a lot darker, and also you can save a bit because the option in my case was about 40 to 50 euros more expensive than the factory tint. Now, also, this is maybe a bit of the clean freak in me, but also I ordered the car without any lettering. Now, if you ask Mini to put no lettering on your car, they will certainly keep the Countryman that's normally on the underside of your tailgate. Now, if you ask them, they will remove that, and I would totally recommend removing those letters, because yeah, they're just like spread out all over, and letters are really hard to keep clean on a car. And now I have like a really nice clean tailgate, and I really love the way that looks. To really finish off the back of this car, I also added a tiny little element to make sure nobody knows that this is a 1 diesel. Now, if you first remove the lettering, so there's no 1 or Cooper on here, and then you still have the exhaust tip. Now, the normal exhaust tip on Minis, and certainly on 1 diesels, is just like the stainless steel pipe. Now if you want to have like a bit more of a Cooper look, you can ask Mini to install the Cooper like exhaust tip on this car, and it will only cost you about 30 to 40 euros. So if you go with the tinted windows, as I said, you actually save and get that exhaust tip for free. So guys, right now we are inside the Mini because outside it's really cold, and yeah, it's time to review the interior of this car. Now the interior of this car, this is where Mini really shines. This is where the brand Mini really has a lot of steps ahead of other manufacturers, because I do not know of any other car maker that puts like this much effort to detail and to give it some character to an interior that is like for a common user. Like, I'm not talking about like Ferraris and whatever, those interiors are also cool, but just in a consumer vehicle, this is just awesome. I really like this interior. Like, you have this like steering wheel, which is like a nice 3-spoke layout. It's really snappy also, so handling wise this car is actually pretty damn good for just being like the standard entry Mini. Now also this car has the sports seat, so semi leather and cloth sports seats. Now also the nice touch is that the cloth you have in your seats comes back on the door panels, so it just ties it all together, and it's really nice. This car also I also took this car with like the gloss black accents all over the interior to bring the black from the outside to the inside, and it's just such a nice extra to this car. Now the only thing I would say that Mini should try and do something about is this tiny rev counter that you have here, just because it's sometimes hard to see where your rev range is. But Mini has already thought about something, because around the infotainment system, which is brilliant by the way, it's a BMW unit with a mini skin, which also makes it a bit more fun to use. But you have around the infotainment system this LED ring. Now if you're just driving, it can be your rev counter. If you change your climate control, it might show where your heat is at. It also shows you how hard your fans are blowing when you change that, or when you change the volume, it changes into a volume like bar. There's just so many things they did with just this simple LED bar that just makes this interior feel a lot nicer. Also, this Mini has the excitement package, so you have Mini emblems like being projected on the ground when you come to your car at night. You have like this interior lighting everywhere, like inside of your door handles, where in your cubby spaces in the doors, like at your feet, above, like shining down your center console, and you can change this color to any color you like. There is like this button on the top where you can change it all. It's just a really nice extra to have in a car like this, and it's just all those little touches that really make a Mini interior have a lot of character. This Mini also has a lot of storage space. Like if you go for the storage package, you get like this flat load floor, and then you have like 20 centimeters of space underneath that floor where you can store like umbrellas and and maybe some other stuff that you don't need often, but you just want to take with you, like a little fold out seat or something like that. You can all put it down there. Now also the back seats are also really nice, but I gotta say the back seats are good for 2 full-grown adults or maybe 3 children, because if you put 3 full-grown adults in the back, it gets a bit tight for space. But well, it's a crossover. It's not a big family saloon, but I have to say this interior, I just love this interior. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna stop rambling, but I just love this interior. Now, I said this Mini is the 2018 Model Countryman, and some of you guys, if you are a Mini fan, will know that this Model Countryman is in its 2nd year already. Now, there have been a few updates since the 2017 model, and on the interior there are 2 that are visible, and that I actually know of. So the one is the gas gauge. So all Minis get a new style gas gauge. It's really a lot prettier than the last one, which like was with the stepped LEDs, and yeah, it just didn't look that good. And now you have this LED bar nicely implemented to show how much gas you have left. And then the second update is that the Mini driving mode, so you have sport, middle and green, are not controllable anymore from the gear surround. So normally you could change the gear surround like to the left or to the right, to change the mode. Now they implemented this in like one of these aircraft switches, like down on the dashboard. So it's a really nice interior. And then, yeah, I actually didn't talk about this yet, but this is the most awesome start-stop button I've ever seen. It's this. So to start the engine, you have like this big airplane-style switch which pulsates and does. Oh man, it gives you like the feeling of starting up its fighter jet, and it's just awesome. I love it. I'm sorry, I love it. Now, then, in this video, I'm not going to take you guys for a drive. If you want to know more about how this car drives, and maybe make another video, but here is a bit of the quick rundown. So this car comes with a pretty nice suspension setup, so it doesn't actually roll all that much in the corners, so that's pretty nice. And the suspension is soft enough, but not that soft that you don't feel anything. So it is still a bit of a driver's chassis, if you ask me. So the suspension is soft enough so you don't get rattled around a lot, and it doesn't roll a lot. So this suspension setup for a daily is, in my eyes, just perfect. I really like the suspension setup. To maybe give you guys a bit more info about the infotainment system and the instrument cluster. Now, for one, the instrument cluster, I think they worked out pretty nice, except for, like I said, this ref counter, which I find a bit small. I would have maybe loved that to be a bit bigger, but I really love how they did like the little info screen in the center dash. Now, the info screen shows you, you can put on your speed, or you can put on a nice diagram that shows you when the engine is ready and warm enough so you can go higher in the ref range without damaging it, which is a pretty nice extra. You can see your range, your average fuel consumption, and it has like this nice animation. Like, for example, if you put it on the temperature indicator, it will show you this graph. If you put it on speed, the speed will enlarge it and show you like at an eyesight like big large speed numbers. And that's just a really nice implementation of that. The only thing I would say is that when like the speed enlarges, you lose your trip computer and your odometer. So that's maybe something that I would like to have seen in the settings, so you can choose to keep it small or let it enlarge. But then the infotainment system, I'm not gonna talk a lot about it just because it works brilliantly. The infotainment system is a BMW system, so it works really nicely, and it's one of the best at the moment in the market. At least a lot of reviewers have been saying it, and I've been using it now for a while, and it truly is. The voice commands work really well, even in Dutch. Like, if you're not from Belgium or not from Holland, Dutch voice controls normally really do not work. They're not even worth it, but on this car and this system, they really work nicely. Now, Mini wouldn't be Mini if it wouldn't add like this little quirky stuff. So for one, if you put it in sport, you can let your Mini like go around all the parameters to go racing. Like, it will tell you what the engine temp is, what the outside temp is, and it will just, if everything is okay, it will do like a 3, 2, 1 countdown to go. So that's a little quirky thing. Also, you have like these performance dials where you can see how much power and torque you are using, which is also a little quirky thing that I pretty much like. But then also Mini does this thing, has added this thing that's called the Mini Country Timer. Now, the Mini Country Timer is just a little app that will track how much it's really funny, but how much you go off-road with your Mini, and it will update the Mini that's in the screen to like a monster truck if you go off-road all the time. So that's actually, it's just a little quirky thing, but it's really fun to look at and to maybe like try and get a bigger Mini Countryman. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about in regarding to the infotainment system is the Mini Connected app. Now, the Mini system here doesn't have Android Auto, so okay, that's a minus on the infotainment system side, but that's just BMW. I certainly hope that maybe that comes with an update or something later, but nothing that I know of at the moment. But they have a Mini Connected app, and there are a lot of apps you can run normally on the Mini Connected. You can attach GoPros, I even saw in it, but I still need to try that stuff out. Now, the Mini Connected app shows you where you parked your car last, how much kilometers are on your odometer, how much fuel you have left, and just a few tiny things which you can set the destinations to send to your car or something like that. It is a pretty nice app, not at the same level I think as some other apps where you can like honk the horn and flash the lights and whatever, but it's a nice addition to just maybe know where your car is parked. So that's a really nice feature. Now the one thing I have seen is that it does not automatically update when you connect your car to your phone. Like you really need to open the app to update the parameters, at least for fuel and such. So that's something I'm still not clear on how that system then works when you're parked, because yeah, if it doesn't update every time you get in your car, then how can it remember where you're parked? But I'll get back to you on that. If you guys want to see more about this app, put it in the comments below, and maybe I'll make a video about what you can do with it, and maybe test out some of its features and show you some of its shortcomings if I find some. So yeah, that's about it for the interior. Let's go back outside and wrap this video up. Sorry guys, but that's about all I want to tell you about this car in this video. If you have some questions about it, do leave them in the comments below if you want to see something else on this car. I'm certainly happy with it. You might have heard my little bit of excitement in this video. I hope I didn't come over too biased, but yeah, I really like this car. Yeah, I chose it, I bought it. It's just that simple. If you don't like the car, you don't buy it. So I'm really liking this car. It's really nice, and yeah, I hope you guys are as excited as I am to have like a new car to make videos on, a new car for content. And if you have anything you want to know about the 2018 Mini Countryman from just me as a user, I'm not paid by Mini or not anything. If you want to know anything practical about this car, just leave it in the comments below. I will answer every comment and every question that you have, and maybe make another video about it if I have enough questions, or if I see a topic that would certainly profit from having a video. But that's about all I have time for this week, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you all enjoyed the walk around of my new daily. I hope you look forward to seeing it in more videos, and I will see you guys next time for another video.